Hello there. This is going to be a slightly different video because we're going to be covering 6 books that I suggest that you read in 2026. Some of them I've covered on other book reviews. Some might show up and we might dig into a little bit deeper later. This list will not be in any particular order. There is one book that I really suggest you read, but I'll tell you that when I get there. But they're all worth reading. They're all a lot of fun. And I would suggest anybody go out and read them. So, first book, The Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells. God, I love these books. These are 4 books, but I mean, each book was about 100 was about 90 pages long. So I mean, if you put them all together, they form one big Voltron of a book. But I really liked it. I really loved these books. I loved how the protagonist goes from feigning indifference to humans to actually, being involved with them and caring, and actually wanting to help people. And it's nice to see a protagonist that progresses that way. That's how a protagonist is supposed to work. They're supposed to have a character arc, a start here and go here. I really liked it. I really suggest reading it. My only complaint is that it's 4 books. They're about 90 pages long each, and they all cost about $11 for the digital copies, which in my opinion is way too expensive that comes out to a $44 novel, and that's way too expensive. But, if you have the money, shell out and read it. They're worth reading. The second book is The Long Walk by Stephen King. Or if you really want to be pedantic about it, if he was writing as Richard Bachman, but it's Stephen King. Love this book. This actually felt like a book that he wanted to write, as opposed to just feeling like he ought to have a book out on the shelves. And it was also a really great allegory of the Vietnam War. That's really what it was. I mean, parents send their kids to go on this long walk to win money and to be entertained and be televised entertainment for the rest of the country. You could also kind of include in this a little bit of The Running Man, but you may have seen my review of it. I didn't particularly like The Running Man, but taken as like an extension of the universe of The Long Walk, they're worth reading in conjunction with each other. Third book, The Uploaded by Ferret Steinmetz. Oh my God, read this book. It's really good. It's really, truly great science fiction. It's got a sense of humor to it. It's also relevant in the current climate of the world right now, because it's really about how the haves tend to go out of their way to remain the haves and force the have-nots to work for them. Really good, really well written. I got to read more by Ferret Steinmetz. I got to find out more about him because I really like this book. The fourth book was going to be I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Lane Reed. I have not reviewed this book yet. And it's because, well, if you read it, you'll find out why. It's a hard book to discuss. It's a very, very difficult book to discuss. You may have seen the Netflix did a movie adaptation of it. Pretty good adaptation as well. But this book is, how can I put this? Very surreal. And once you realize what the twist is, it hits you like a dagger. It's really well written. It's not easy to understand. It's not an easy read by any means. It's a very short read, but it's not easy. Some of the plot points in the book are so surreal and so stream of consciousness, and you start to realize things don't make sense at some point. And then when you actually find out what the book is about, they suddenly snap into focus and make sense. Like I said, it's well worth reading. Go out and find this book. It's really good. The fifth book is A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. Paul Tremblay has become one of my favorite authors, just because he writes horror really well, and his horror tends to be less about the traditional stuff and more about the real life horror. I'm trying to dance around what this book is about. It's really about a reality show about a young girl and her family. The young girl is supposedly possessed. Um, Here's the thing: I'm going to tell you right out. You never find out whether she was actually possessed or if it was all just faked for the cameras. And it is wonderful. I loved it. Go out and read it. Again, it's a relatively short novel, not too long, really well written, and well worth your time. And for my sixth book, and this is the one that I really want you all to read, Desolation Road by Ian MacDonald. Um, I am not a person that likes magical realism, especially in my science fiction novels. And when we get to the review of that, because this will probably be my first review of next year, but I love this book. Everything about it is perfect. Everything about it is incredible. It's a book about it's a it's a book about that basically starts out as Steinbeck's Cannery Row, but set on Mars, and slowly becomes something more. Um, it's hard to explain, but it's one of those books that once you start it, you will not be able to put it down. Definitely read Desolation Road by Ian MacDonald. Anyway, that's it for this year. You have a great day. Bye bye.